Welcome to Coleman Report Live. I'm Bob Coleman. We're talking Main Street and the small business lenders who help it grow. Katie Roach is our editor. She's joining us. And Joseph Coleman, a rare appearance since everyone else, our normal guests, have flown the coop. Joseph, what happened with John Riosti?
I spoke with him yesterday, and he's doing a big article on women in banking. So he is interviewing someone right now, and he couldn't be available today, but he sends his best to the audience.
John's really done a great job for us, and he's given a lot of background. Let's start with that news right up the top. What's going on in Congress? Anything in Congress?
Well, the Senate is still out until after Labor Day. The House has been voting.
I want that job. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, they have been working almost nonstop for several months here, so I think they deserve a little bit of a break.
All right.
We are waiting for a lot of bills, especially the stimulus package that's been presented, a couple different versions of it. So we're waiting on that. Hopefully we'll have that shortly after Labor Day.
Yeah, and obviously nothing's going to happen with the convention this week. Hopefully they'll do something next week. It is the recap context. It is going to happen. All these rules are going to come down. It's just a matter of timing. I think John was right when he said after Labor Day, and I obviously picked some date in July, and I was not right. So. We love your questions, and I sort of created a hornet's nest on wet signatures, so we're going to go through that again, make sure that everyone understands what the rules are. There's our certificate, August 27th already. Let's go to the poll questions. Number one, are rent payments to a relative eligible for loan forgiveness? Very good. Very good. Who's taking this, Joseph or Katie?
Go ahead, Katie. We're talking about the
Joseph's punting. Here, let's see. This comes directly from the Federal Register that came out this morning, and they were giving examples, and one of them is you can rent from a relative, and that is eligible. Here it is. Yes, as long as one, the amount of loan forgiveness requested for rent or lease payments to the related party is no more than the amount of mortgage interest on the owned property. So now we're in a sort of documentation nightmare. And the lease and the mortgage were entered prior to February 2020. But as Lance said, Lance gives the great example of he rented from his dad, but in the early 90s, and it was on a handshake. So I don't know. The answer is yes, but let's be careful on documentation. Number two, are some home work office expenses eligible for loan forgiveness? And we all know people, a lot of us are in the same boat now where you have borrowers who are working out of their house and they're giving up their real estate. Very good. Joseph, we have a smart crowd today.
Yeah.
Well, and some of them have been doing these loans for a while now, so I would hope you'd kind of be able to deduce a little bit that everybody's kind of working from home, but some people were already working from home. So obviously their expenses should be applicable to this.
And this one's easy. It says a borrower who works out of his or her home is eligible for forgiveness. And how you calculate that is based on the borrower's 2019 tax filings on what they took as a deduction, so we can add those in. Or if it's a new business, which is sort of problematic, the borrower's expected 2020 tax. Anyway, go to the 2019 tax returns. Number three, I wanted to just Joel Steiner, the Fresno district director, said something to me once very, very important, and he was talking about a staff meeting, and he was saying, someone told him once, well, I told the lender that this was important. And Joel said, well, tell him again and again and again. So don't be offended by this, but I did get a bunch of questions from other people, and I want to make sure that we all understand what's going on. So the first poll question is, do we need a wet signature? Do we need pen on paper? If we use DocuSign Slash or any other signature type of program? Very good. 81% said no, you don't. Where I confused the industry was where I said you need a wet signature if you have a scan. So
Right.
if you get a scan, then you need to go back and do that. But if it's actually it's in the back of the 5010, that's the very last appendix. It's about 6 or 8 pages. As long as you follow one of the established vendors, you are okay. How'd I do on that, Katie?
Sounds right.
All right, so clarify that. I apologize for Paul for keeping him up at night thinking he had to go get signatures for everyone. Let's see. Excuse me, I apologize. There's a bunch of calculations that have been coming out, but again, we still don't know what the big picture is. Excuse me. We still don't know what the amount is. And that's what Katie was talking about. We have bipartisan. Katie, you had that nice slide the other day showing 30 co-sponsors in the Senate. It is going to happen, but we don't know yet what the amount is. We've heard from Motley Fool said 20,000. And Senator Rubio's office, I believe, wanted 250, but I think we all believe it's going to settle for about 150. Katie, do you still believe that?
The numbers just keep changing day by day, and I've seen a couple different versions of it. Even the smaller version of the bill that came out had a different number than the larger one. So I think they're just trying to negotiate something that everybody can agree upon. And it sounds like we're going to have something. It's just a matter of what that number is. We don't know exactly at this moment.
There was a great article about Robert Scott, the SBA Great Lakes Regional Administrator. I love that Great Lakes Regional. I don't know. That's better than region. I don't know what region is, but he's saying that the agency still has $130 billion available, and Scott is out there saying that's probably going to be extended, and he talked about the deferred payments for that. And again, what's interesting is the numbers were. They're saying that SBA came in, these are someone else's words, not mine, a sleepy little agency to being one of the largest cabinet positions in the administration with $650 billion with a B. None of us would have predicted that back in January. In fact, none of us would have wanted to have predicted that. And again, SBA has issued more than 5.5 million loans, 85% less than 150. So we are going to, I don't know what you're going to call it, PPP 3.0, additional stimulus, but it will occur. Joseph, let's go. Karen Mills is the former administrator. She served under President Obama. She's now associated with Harvard. I should know her exact title. I don't know if she's teaching there or whatever. But she came out in an interview, and what did she say, Joseph?
She is going on the same lines of what we've been talking about the last couple weeks and months, and she's afraid that 20 to 30% of the small businesses are going to be gone forever, which is a staggering statistic. But she came out and talked with Yahoo Finance, and I think her insight is very good. I think Maria Contreras-Sweet came out, and we've been talking with Hector Barreto. So a lot of the past SBA administrators are coming out and doing their service to talking about small business. But this was just another stat that is just part of 2020. You know, we've been talking about it for the last couple months, and I think she's getting in on the talking point. So
well, the problem. I mean, those are huge numbers. We have no idea if those are right or not. We do know that there's going to be fallout. We also understand that it's extremely important that you start going through your portfolios and making determination which businesses are in trouble, which I know it's a lot of servicing, but which loans, this is a PPP loans, that need to be converted to payments. Of course, we don't have all those calculations yet in terms of how to do that. So we see a lot of servicing hard work in your horizon, especially for your 2021 budgets in terms of what your loan loss reserves. And it's while we're doing very well as an industry with a lot of influx of capital available for Main Street, it's going to take a lot of work as well. See, when I pause, that means you guys get to jump in and comment on how smart I am, but obviously that didn't happen. So thank you for all your support. Lance is going to be doing a webinar next week exactly on that topic on servicing PPP loans, and we will go more in depth about that. Joseph, what's going on here?
The webinar that SBA is doing is just pushed a week. I don't know what the unforeseen circumstances, but it was supposed to be today, and they just pushed it until next Thursday.
Okay. Also, I got an email this morning saying that E-Tran should be back online. It's been down the last 2 days. Katie, do you have any additional information on that?
All I've heard is that it was down and it should be back up and running. They supposedly fixed the problem sometime last night. So hopefully we won't see any more problems with that in the future.
Yeah, the last email I got yesterday was that it was still down, but I think it's back up. So
yeah. I know the forgiveness portal remained open, so that's still available to everyone. It was just the other E-Tran and I believe some others that were still kind of messed up yesterday.
Yeah, they've had a tremendous amount of volume on that, and it seems like a lot of our computer platform, we're not going to pick on SBA. A lot of computer platforms have been going down from Zoom to everyone else in the world. So, again, these are the questions we got, Christine. Yes. We do not need to get a wet signature on a PPP loan if you've used an approved electronic signature program. So hopefully we've put that to bed.
yeah.
And the second question was, there was another question from...
I didn't put that one in, sorry. But it was still on wet signatures, so.
Yeah, so anyways, so that is that. Please take advantage of our new report. Oh, here we go. Oh, this is what Lance is going to be talking about next week. Things
Next
you can
week, right.
now. When's it going to be, Joseph? Next Wednesday?
Wednesday, yeah, the 2nd at 2 p.m. He's going to be talking about, so this is bread and butter servicing for Lance is his expertise, and we're going to do a whole webinar on servicing PPP dispersed loans and 7A and 504 and microloans as well. So.
Great.
Just send me an email.
Let's see, a couple questions. Vicki, when you talk about DocuSign, are you only referring to the loan documents, or do you also include the applications for the SB and the lender? The answer is we can include it all. I mean, obviously, if you want, the only thing that I've read is if there's a scan on the note, then that needs to be followed by the wet signature, but there's no guidance on other types of forms. So I think it's perfectly acceptable to have your own portal taking information. I know there are lenders who use DocuSign. They create all the new forms. So it's going directly to the notice. The only thing they're concerned about is we have a wet signature and a scan. I think everything else is fine. And again, Sandy followed up on this, and yes, as I said, we've only need wet signatures if it's scanned. So I hope that clarifies. Very good. We have our new newsletter coming out. In fact, our September 1st edition will be released this week. And that's what we have. Hey, thank you all for joining us today for Coleman Report Live and for supporting America's Main Street, one entrepreneur at a time. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. See you.